communities do not see the value. And all, Madam CS, from 1999, it is 26 years since the environmental impact assessment was done during Moi's time. I would have wanted to hear why the report of that environmental impact assessment is not being implemented 26 years later. And if you are doing something about it, I would have wanted to hear that in our time plan, we are intending to clear the Madenge plant by this time, following the following program. I have not heard that. Kenyans from those counties will not be clear on what exactly you're doing to actually manage, control, or eliminate the Madenge plant, which is causing chaos in those counties. Can you give a real timeline-related answer on what you are actually doing to ensure that the Madenge plant is moved away?
Senator Manzo.
Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the CS whether the Madenge tree is a scientifically manufactured tree, and if so, what are they going to do to eliminate it? Luckily, I've not seen it in Makueni, but I know when animals eat it, Mr. Speaker, they lose their teeth. So is this scientifically manufactured, or is it a natural tree, and what are they going to do to eliminate it?
Madam CS, you may take the floor to respond to those supplementary questions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. So regarding the hyacinth, I kindly request that we convene at the team to review and give a comprehensive report, as has been given for Prosopis. For Senator Minor, you talked about biodegradable bags, and we really appreciate your observation with regards to this. We also welcome all options, including the cottage, the weaving, among others. As I had said, research is ongoing to see which is the best in terms of acting as a seedling, and that again after planting, that is biodegradable at the right time. And so we are welcoming all these options as the ministry looks at and evaluates the various potting bags. Senator Muma, yes, for Prosopis, first of all, it's important to note that it was introduced to address desertification. But while addressing desertification, what we've noticed is that the invasion has increased and it's proliferating and affecting various areas. So getting rid of it absolutely will again reintroduce deserts within our country. And so what we are doing is really managing it, looking at the commercial value and managing so that it does not spread. Yes, indeed, Senator Manzu, a lot of scientific research has been conducted. Some of the research looks into utilization of pests or insects to manage it. However, you know, this can again have a ripple effect. So we need to be careful even as we look at management. Right now, what has worked is what we had talked about, the pruning, among others, controlling and managing the Prosopis. As we look at the commercial value and improve the value chains and also improve communities and livelihoods by utilizing the same. So again, we are looking at reviewing other scientific interventions which can be contextualized to our setting without affecting the environment.
Yes, Senator Manzo.
I've asked whether it is a natural tree or scientifically manufactured tree.
Madam CS.
Yes, Senator Manzu, it is a natural tree.
You've heard the CS responded as to the question by Senator Manzo. Do you have a specific timeline, Madam CS, on what action plans you have as a ministry in response to the question by Senator Muma?
Yes, we will have that by October.
Very well. Thank you, Madam CS. I think that brings us to a close of the question time and questions to the Honorable CS. That was question 091 by Senator Joe Chute. And Madam CS and your team, thank you for honoring the invite and for the responses that we have gotten. You are now discharged, and we wish you a great afternoon. Honorable members, now with that closure on the questions, clerk. Senator Veronica Maina, could you approach the chair? Honorable Senators, for the convenience of the business of the House, I will rearrange the order paper so that we call order number 11. Clerk, please call out order number 11.
Order number 11, motion, report of the parliamentary delegation to the 2024 Joint United Nations Interparliamentary Union parliamentary hearing held at the United Nations headquarters in New York, United States of America from 8th to 9th February 2024.
Senator Veronica Maina.
Honorable Speaker, allow me to move the House to present the report of the parliamentary delegation to the 2024 Joint United Nations Interparliamentary Union hearing at the United Nations headquarters at New York, United States of America, that was held on 8th to 9th of February 2024. Honorable Speaker, we live in a world where conflicts within and between the countries are on the rise, resulting in suffering and deprivation for millions of people, as well as a deep sense of uncertainty in the future, particularly among young people. And today, we are compelled more than ever to act urgently to restore the conditions for peace, social justice, good governance, and respect for international law. And this situation must be the one that drove the gathering that joined the Joint United Nations and the Interparliamentary Union IPU 2024 parliamentary hearing that was held under the theme Putting an End to Conflicts, Prescriptions for a Peaceful Future at the United Nations UN headquarters in New York on 8th and 9th of February 2024. And the hearing, Honorable Speaker, called IPU member parliaments to acquaint themselves with one of the priorities for the current presidency of the UN General Assembly, peace, as well as the IPU priority focus in 2024 on international peace and security. The Kenyan delegation to this meeting comprised of the following: myself, Senator Veronica Maina, Member of Parliament and Leader of Delegation, Honorable John Makali, Member of Parliament, and Honorable Anne Muratha, Member of Parliament from the National Assembly. The hearing sought to bring parliamentarians up to speed with one of the key components of the Pact for the Future, the expected outcome document of September 2024 UN Summit of the Future. This hearing was inspired by the resolution Rethinking and Reframing the Approach to Peace Processes with a View to Fostering Lasting Peace, adopted by the 144th IPU Assembly in March 2022, as well as the follow-up to the United Nations Our Common Agenda report, including one of the UN Secretary General's policy briefs on the proposal for the new agenda for peace. The hearing was an opportunity for parliamentarians to take stock of what ails the world today and the respective nations, and to commit to actionable solutions for the international community and national actors, and to bring to light some of the recommendations that were developed within this conference, parliaments to develop or domesticate international treaties, standards to guide the responsible use of artificial intelligence and other emerging technologies in military and security contexts. This should include measures for transparency, accountability, and protection of civilians. Parliamentarians also to advocate that a significant portion of climate finance reaches the most vulnerable countries and communities, while integrating climate security into international peace and security agenda to address the root causes of climate-related conflicts, and also parliamentarians to advocate for their countries to establish concrete measures such as reserved seats and transparent selection criteria to ensure the meaningful participation of women and youth in peace negotiations, and additionally to support civil society organizations, particularly those advocating for women and youth rights, with adequate funds and resources, and also to encourage parliaments to leverage their diplomatic channels to build trust and facilitate dialogue in conflict regions, foster regular engagement with international parliamentary organizations, and support initiatives that promote peace and conflict resolution, and also to advocate for the adoption and implementation of the proposal outlined in the new Agenda for Peace at the 2024 Summit of the Future, focus on reforming global governance structures, particularly the UN Security Council, to make them more representative and effective in addressing contemporary security challenges, and also to urge the inclusion of parliaments as key institutions under the Transforming Global Governance chapter of the Pact for the Future. And Parliament should actively engage their missions to the UN to ensure this inclusion as part of their negotiation, emphasizing the critical role they play in addressing contemporary global challenges. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the delegation that attended to this important activity, I wish to take this opportunity to thank you for the support of ensuring that Kenya was duly and very ably represented at this meeting. Honorable Speaker, Article 7 of the IPU statutes mandates members of the IPU to submit the resolutions of the IPU within their respective parliament in the most appropriate form to communicate them to the government, to stimulate their implementation, and to inform the IPU Secretariat as often and fully as possible, particularly in its annual reports of the steps taken and results obtained. Now, in accordance with Article 7 of the Statutes of the IPU, it's my pleasure and very humble duty to submit this report highlighting the full discussions of the joint United Nations, UN, and the Interparliamentary Union IPU 2024 parliamentary hearing to Parliament for noting and for taking the necessary action. Let me also take this opportunity, Honorable Speaker, to commend the then Ambassador Kiboino, who received the Kenyan delegation very well, and he was at advanced stages of negotiating the country's position on the new agenda for peace, and to say that he welcomed the delegation very well and was able to brief and support the delegation throughout the process that we had, Honorable Speaker. And some of the other key points that I would want to highlight that were subject of discussion during this process was the financing